Hello. Hello. Okay, I think the audio is back now. Audio is back now, finally. So yes, we can go ahead with what we were talking about. And and like what I was talking about Anthony Joshua. Let's start from the beginning. So one of the things we experienced towards the latter part of 2025 was a lot of cases of people being unalived, a lot of cases of people losing their lives, and it was really a shocking one. It was a shocking one and experience that was like took a lot of people aback, not just Nigerians but globally, because Anthony Joshua is a global star, is a global name. Um, because Anthony Joshua is a global name, surely there were a lot of people that affected. A lot of people were affected. A lot of people were shocked at the whole thing that happened with Anthony Joshua, where after coming off such a big win, taking out Jake Paul the sixth round, um, making a lot of money, even though you have to pay taxes, pay a lot. And you came back home to enjoy as usual, come back to your home country because Nigeria, Lagos is the go-to place globally, go-to place for Dirty December. Hey, people enjoy because Lagos is always bubbling, especially during the December time. So, of course, Anthony Joshua came back home with his guys, celebrate the big win, so much money, fresh off win after taking a break of almost 2 years, taking a very long break. Came back, coming back, you know, team, they were happy. Lats, very close friend, Sina. Sina is a member of his team, one that was really part of his strength and conditioning coach. Now, these two guys, it took the life. Both Cena, also Lats. This thing, the world has not recovered from this shock of imagine Anthony. So there have been a lot of news on Anthony Joshua since this incident happened. And these are the things that we want to really talk about today. Please, if you're in the comment section, you can just say hi in the comments. You know, you can engage in the comment section because I see the comments. So appreciate the comment. So it was really a shocking one to be honest. And as a shocking one, more news have come out on Anthony Joshua. Survived the accident right now. The first one that we saw, news that we Anthony Joshua was not supposed to sit where he sat. Anthony Joshua literally was sitting at the back seat when the accident happened. It was not put, and technically it was, to me, I'll say it was divine orchestration from not taking anything away from people that passed on. But you know what they say? They say that if it's not your time, it's not. Didn't know until it happened, man. This is just a quick. But let's look at the update. And this update from mirror.co.uk, and they said Anthony Joshua swapped seats before the fatal crash as boxer cheated death. He really cheated. So this thing said Anthony Joshua survived the fatal crash on Monday when his car crashed into a stationary truck while boxer was on holidays in Nigeria. Anthony Joshua cheated death by swapping seats minutes before embarking on a journey that took the life of two of his friends. Just it's a sad one to talk about. Today I was even looking through a video of Anthony Joshua and his friends team in Nigeria where they were doing training, jogging. Anthony Joshua and that's doing they were jogging. This was on the 20th of my head. I was like, little did they know that. experience a very accident, you know, working on their gym at the gym. So it's just it's really a boggling thing. Just just something to just keep you humble and just keep it at the back of your mind. God that protect life is short and happen at any. So, but let's go back to the story. Joshua's pals were unalived in a fatal crash. One day, boxer on Monday, with the boxer taken with minor injuries. Driver of his car has been charged in unaliving by dangerous driving, and his lawyer revealed the twist of fate. This is the lawyer talking now. My client has pleaded not guilty. What happened? What happened was I have I haven't had a full chance to speak with him yet, but I know he's saying the brakes Olalekan Abiodun bill. So Olalekan Abiodun is the lawyer to whoever is pleading not guilty, claiming the whole accident thing, failed brake. So so this is the lawyer talking now. I also understand that the journey started in Lagos. Initially, Anthony got into the front seat, but the driver asked him. He did this because Anthony is a big fellow. They couldn't see the wing mirror properly, so he asked him to move and sat behind the driver. From what I understood, Latif was in front, then changed seat. Latif was in front and changed seats with Latif back. Then he changed seats with Anthony, and Anthony went to the back. Latif went. So let's see. Earlier on Friday, the State Police Command confirmed that Deni Mobolaji Kayode, 46, that's the driver, has been charged in Shagamu Magistrate Court till January 20th. Police brought four charges against the driver: causing unaliving by dangerous driving, reckless and negligent driving, driving without due care, driving without a valid driver's Nigeria, my country. Nigeria that people confidently drive around with. Despite the fact that you have a lot of police stopping people on the road. But it just shows that the target is police more for the fast guys. So the drivers that drive the elites are not being questioned or stopped. That's why this guy can confidently drive without it. That's what I'm just assuming. The Ogun State Police Command wishes to inform the general public that the driver of the Lexus involved in the anti-social accident, Dene Imobolaji Kayode, age 46, was charged at the Shagamu Magistrate Court January 2nd, 2020. The case has been adjourned January 20th, 2026. A statement on the Force official X account. In addition to in addition to being long-term friends of Joshua, Gami acted strength and conditioning coach. Gami is Sani Sina, Sina Gami, acted as a strength and conditioning coach. Why Ayodele is last. Ayodele was a trainer. Joshua, who was born in Watford to Nigerian parents, was on holiday in Nigeria following his win over Jake Paul in December 19. Well, yeah, so this is the case we got. Saw two things here. Saw that when Joshua swapped seats, means that it just was a near miss. It was a miss near, like, a miss, just a very close one. They would have talking about in terms of against that. gone. Drastic, vastly one that is shocking, aggravating, really. So it's just something that, man. So another news talks about the driver being charged over Nigeria's car crash that killed. That's still the Anthony Joshua. And this one is from Global News DA news platform. Say, authorities in Nigeria have charged Anthony Joshua's driver following a car crash that killed Nigerian British boxer, took the life of two people. Adeni Imobolaji, 46, charged at Yagamu Magistrate Court on Friday. The Ogun State Police Command wishes to inform the general public that the driver charged at Yagamu Magistrate Court. So this is literally very similar to what we just read. And the news after this is something different. Apparently, Anthony Joshua is no longer in Nigeria and he has flown back to UK. So this news is from BBC, and BBC says Joshua flies back to UK after Nigeria's car. So as at the time of the whole car crash, I don't know, we didn't know it was a rumor. It just seemed logical. But we saw news that Anthony Joshua flew to the UK after they get treated, and this news I saw it online. And surprised why I didn't verify that news. But I saw it online. It wasn't verified. So Anthony Joshua actually was treated in Nigeria. Treated in Nigeria. Now it's just today, early hours, he died. This one says the former heavyweight champion went back to the UK after a fatal crash that took the life of two of his close friends. 36-year-old was a guy in Lexus SUV that stationary truck on a major expressway near Lagos. The Joshua's close friends, team members, Sinagami and Steve Lack, took unalived crash. Funerals take place in London Mosque. Joshua was taken to hospital and discharged on Wednesday. Driver Adeni Imobolaji Kayode, 6, was charged at Shagam Friday. Police sources told charges including unalive dangerous driving. Defendant was granted bail of 5 million naira, about 2,570 euros. Euros, that's pounds. 2,570, like appropriate equivalent. 2,570 pounds is on books, piece on paper. Reprimanded pending his bail condition. Case has been adjourned on January 21. So the ending part is very similar to what we said before. Joshua back to the. I'm assuming that one went back. We thank God that So, but for more updates after Anthony Joshua, more updates. Let's talk Nigerian politics. Talk Nigerian politics. It will be the eve of in the eve of 2027 election, eve of 2027 elections. I don't know if it was a shocker. I expected him to. A lot of people predicted him leaving the Labour Party, but we didn't know what his next move was. Whether he was going to leave the Labour Party and just join maybe PDP, just form alliance. Going to leave the Labour Mizo. So this one, new party that has been formed called the ADC. This ADC is when I heard the news, oh, we're going to what does
Hello, you are welcome to this class. I beg, before we start, it be like say this class, e go long small. Make you press playback speed. E dey your phone so or your computer to increase the speed of this video so that e go dey fast.
that suggest?
Because we get many things to discuss. You hear say Obi don go join article for ADC. Na the matter na it bring me come this class. So I reacted. People came after me. I came after them. We fought. I don't know win o. Na you go na you go tell us who win. Okay? I come see say Festus Keyamo don dey cry over this defection. Na say why this guy dey join me dey cry? Why Festus dey join me dey cry? Keyamo, are you not the minister of aviation? This cry I need to study am. I go show you wetin ask me for the study after I don study the cry wey dey cry. Why Obi go join ADC? I go show you the analysis and the conclusion. And this morning, Pat Tom come enter my side of the story say if Obi accept give this slot, he don comot handle just like wetin I talk. Wey people dey give me blow left and right. Now all this matter we we'll discuss for this class. Hope you are ready. Hope we start. Before we even start, it is good to inform you that your country, Nigeria, breaking world update. Nigeria is officially, we can go check whether I zoom here. Breaking. Nigeria is officially one of the worst places on the planet to live, with one of the lowest qualities of life in the world. Countries with the lowest quality of life in 2025. So you can see, now Nigeria, now in carry first. It means say it dey bottom. Remember, it's pipe up.
When we were there, when we still around chaos that day, Syrian chaos is rest fighting. Just live life as now, experiencing life different place, standing gap in the quality of realize there is place of chaos, lot of people listening to this. Remember, now can't argue with this fact. Can't argue with this when they say that it's one of the worst places because it shows for itself. The news for some to talk, news speaks for it. Also, the fact that all of Nigeria back to that. Nigeria not really a citizen. But let's
Population more than 200 million people. Okay? It means say many of them they are living the worst of life. Okay? Under APC. People come they say why they use Buhari's picture. Say no be Buhari. They power now. Now I call take matter. Say be like say there is no place to hide. After you don't destroy something, you know if you go hide. So it be like say they know who started moving Nigerians towards lowest quality of life. Then they go use the picture because you know if you go hide for retirement after you don't destroy something, or you go hide for inside grave. No hiding place. People will always remember you. Okay? As you can also see, as an update, in Adamawa, they thought say for one village, ISWAP go burn and down the entire village, and all of them now Christians they be. They thought say convert to Islam or die. It's like a direct message to Trump. I believe the people were against Trump attacks on ISWAP. They go like this one. People like Gumi. Now don't say so. Now.
so this kind of news now, this kind of news can people still come out and say, when literally villages that are Christian dominated are being attacked. Boko Haram. And they say it's the argument is a very business one. Look at that's really
Move straight to our class. This is Peter Obi, the capital ADC. A call for unity and a new Nigeria. Today in Enugu, I was joined by distinguished leaders and associates, including former governors Ekwesili Nwondo of Enugu State, Achike Ondenwa, and Sam Egu, etc., saying he don't carry body, come up from Labour Party and move to ADC. Articles home, okay? When I saw it at this one, I said, wait a minute. Oh, that was on the 31st of last month. I said ADC is a political party of Atiku, by Atiku, and for Atiku. I trust Tinubu 1 billion times than Atiku. I won't ask now. And the first time when the CTC for me this, I know they talk and says, some people don't twist down when they say, I said I trust Tinubu. They stop up for here. They use this one. They respond to my tweet. They don't want to talk this side. I trust Tinubu. Hey, look here. They put out like this. I trust Tinubu 1 billion times. They stop her here. They stop her here. Indirectly, you are Tinubu supporter. If
yeah, this is just what the media does. Media knows how to mistake, not bring out the full context, put it out. Somebody, this one is never half truth. That's the truth. He's comparing Tinubu with Atiku. And I could understand this statement, him saying that he trusts Tinubu 1 billion times. And I know this kind of way, better to see someone angel as the devil. So that the devil you know is better than the devil you don't know. Just what he's saying.
now Atiku, you want VP. Let me they talk so. May God give Tinubu all time QED. I won't ask now again. Is it the first time one of this say I dey talk like this for this channel? If you think say I dey lie now, carry body go watch videos on ADC where I don analyze about Atiku Obi, president versus VP, primaries. I dey talk and since. I say may God even give Tinubu lifetime presidency. Even though Tinubu fit waka again, go dey do like this. They go dey help am. We don't know see. I still believe am pass Atiku. Atiku market. Now so I talk. Me, I know sabi pretend. I dey talk from angle of conviction. If that come me say, you be secret supporter, okay, we'll take her like that. Now, Moku enter the meat of the matter. Moku see, this guy said Don Azza previously criticized Remo. I mean, say want talk about Renu Omokri. Then I go this side so that you will see and clearly. Remo, which is Renu Omokri, allegedly, I believe now will talk. He's not subtly speaking in favor of how Renu started. Indirectly, blessed this Don Azza won't go use to go collect his ambassadorial position. There's some people, they will just see person online, they don't know who you be. No be all of us they do like this. Me, I go talk calm, I go do one. I know they like challenges. You challenge me now, they do one pass it. Like this guy will they challenge me so I feel like not supporting Tinubu openly. But I not go let one person's ignorance or anger or push me do what I don't want to do. I dey talk and say. I said if Obi go VP Atiku Omobody, I trust Obi well. I believe in his magic finger. I no want support Obi with my one vote. I no say no mean anything. Go push and make it enter Aso Rock. Come be VP like Osibanjo and Shettima. Oh no, they see anything from them. They just dead there. They decorate that office. No impact on our lives. No. If that's your target, thank you. In short, you should even join me now to send a signal to ADC to not say, hey, We no dey play with our man o. Notice say because we dey support Obi, you wan call you star, carry am, tiki, you go deceive am, come later ask us to support you. You suppose join me. Maybe later, if you can change your mind, say okay, it don't be. But now is the best time to even put pressure. This statement is not even for Obi. It's for Atiku. Don't deceive our man. Somebody gonna say, I dey use star. If I was supporting Tinubu, I will support her. Tinubu no be human being. You know the supporters. No continue now. I can't reply this guy. I said, are you saying that after 2 years, here I go, we are Zuma. I said, are you saying that after 2 years, I am expected to support a structure of criminality? If Atiku truly loves Nigeria, he should support Peter Obi. It is still the South's turn. It is still our turn. No deceive us. That is my stand. If you support Obi, you wish him VP. I don't know your mission. I don't know what you really want. To be
honest, I feel like VP position is a position for there'll be the opportunity to VP on that. Had that opportunity. If he on that in under PDP the last election, but he didn't take it. Why will he now push it and take it? It doesn't make any sense. But let's see let's where Donald Hazard is going.
Decorate Obi, made say Obi near Aso Rock. With all Sibanjo's brain and everything, where they put am, with all the prowess, managerial skills, experience, where they put am under NEPA certificate. Now that one you wish for Obi. I know say the political dynamics don't change. I know say they difficult for Obi to run solo. But if they dollarize their primaries, if they dollarize them, they do one like this, they should know say his supporters, they know the joke. Somebody want to gaslight me. I resemble people where they feel gaslight. This one got to say, if you think Don Ansa was mistakenly added in the task influencer network by the FD, you can see it was not. See? Gaslight. This guy, no sabi. No, I say no sabi. The reason why they added me, now because of many videos where I do explaining PIT. There are many bigger influencers than me in this country with millions of followers. They don't put them. Big names. How many followers? Now because of videos we are doing, there are a lot of Tinubu supporters. They will be angry why they put my name. They don't put my name because they secretly they support Tinubu. No, otherwise.
But Nigerians always know how to come. This is that. Clearly, my intentions didn't match it. People had already jumped into dropping different conspiracy theories to back up their and that's exactly what this guy is doing. This one is already assuming and the reason why Donazar was chosen among the talk about tax because it's already sold scam. You can imagine the assumptions and the meanwhile, he clearly didn't see Donald's tweets. Didn't see the full tweet, just ran with the narrative. That's a lot of things. That's what we see. There are people who just run with whatever news that they see without checking, drawing corporate facts, with narrative. So many followers and little lead.
I don't near that level. People I don't want to mention their names. Plenty. When they angry say why they don't put their name. No. It's because of the videos, the traffic. Where it come with the videos, where I don't first do concerning tasks where they come. I did those videos around 6 months ago when nobody even know about it. Immediately when they bring up, I just do one because I'm viral news. When did they guide my channel? Now all topics, no be name, no be OB, whatever. All topics, correct affairs. Okay? When I saw it, time they come home, I got it now. Teacher, again. Teacher, because of the awareness, we are the create that time. Notice say, as I said again, the reason why I not agree join them, not because of anything say, maybe notice say I support Tinubu, no. Now because say they should pay me. I use my light, they feed myself, they edit, pay for this, pay for that. I don't do many videos free. Now you say you want make a do one, you should contact me, not me contact you. Pay me, I go do one. That was the reason why I reject them. Not because I had fear say if I call do one now, they cause say I be Tinubu supporter. Are you not going to pay the tax now? Are you not going to pay the tax? You do anything? So if somebody call teach you. This is why I say they do so. Now like they do one. You can't be saying now Tinubu supporter. Another one I define. Okay now. So people times reveals a lot about situations. Anyone who lost PO unconditionally will trust his judgment whether to be a VP or not. People use PO visibility. Now this one pay me pass. I value indirectly. And they use PO visibility. See, if I want to ascribe any glory of my content creation to anybody, it no be Peter Obi. No be Peter Obi. The first person, na very dark man. Not intentional. I dey do my Udemy coding. Once in a while, I just do content. I see say they misunderstand this person called BDM. I say this guy is good. Why they misunderstand am? I say no, I know what I go do. Make I do video, make I explain about this guy. How dangerous he is to, you know, cross the path. You go solve how I did BDM 101. I don't even know say BDM get influence like that. Me, I was doing it from the angle of this guy is doing well. Go and watch the video. BDM 101. I put am for TikTok. I see crowd. Reshare. I dey do videos before. I don't do video on petroleum subsidy. That one reach 1 million. Another one 2 million. I dey do videos like that. But this very dark man own. Rat test, all the copy am. They carry and go Facebook. Me, I know they Facebook that time. They call they drag me go Facebook. Now go open Facebook. And they do YouTube something. Now I say, I know they do Facebook. Oh, I know they do TikTok. Oh, come YouTube. Now say I get YouTube now. Show us the YouTube now. Now they come. No be Obi. I know use Obi visibility. In short, even the BDM 101 was not intentional. Make I use that for visibility. Now say make they understand this guy. I don't know say coincidentally the thing go viral. Go and look at my videos. You can count the number of times where I mention Obi. So stop to disgrace yourself. Now this type of behavior what some people they do, Now it makes some people will be say originally they support Obi. You all gaslight them. They come up body. They call be chief antagonist. Me I don't go do that one because Obi no offend me. I'm a very good man. The best is to attack person where attack me. I don't go say because a follower attack me, I can't carry the anger for Obi. No. So stop gaslighting. Okay? There was
this one thing I noticed is not all fans of fanaticism so tense, so strong that because of how person is such a strong radical, a strong fan, person now becomes what they hate, start becoming what they hate. They'll start taking things out of context, becoming more violent, trying to impose their opinions on people. And this thing has happened a lot in this obedience camp. I'm also a fan of things that you see doing. Don't go against with war. But last, so that's
Obi. No, this is my topics. Even BDM. Where some people say every day BDM. I say I do a topic. If followers see you, they want more. Because you want to look at what people where they follow you need. Someone will say every day BDM. I say this talent. Moku say nah come out before they do all that topics. As long as it's a correct affair, people go watch. Like Anthony Joshua's own, for instance, recent one. That video, I no gain 1 naira. More than 200,000 views. Go and check out for YouTube. No single 1 naira. Many videos like that. Because now accident related video, now violent video. Sometimes it's swap video, they know they pay. But I think they do one. Because now what? Now the correct affair matter where they ought. Which last time will be matter ought for this country. Even this one say, and they do one after how many days? This is what they do. No be the day where they camp. So calm down. There are sometimes that we get 3 different topics. I need to pick one. Maybe today now 3 different news just come out. I pick one. I know they look pace. And they look at which one most of my followers they interested in. Okay? So all this gaslighting, calm down. If I want to support Tinubu, the way where they declare say I be Obi supporter, and so I go talk. Where I come from, no sabi do like this, only hide. There are some people influencers, they know they mention person where they support. It's a taboo now, indirectly, because they support person. Some people just come more for your channel, they don't want to watch again. See so? But me, I know how to bring them back because there are some topics where they like, they go come back. Because my channel is not about Obi, okay? It's about correct affairs. But when you reach Obi matter, as a supporter, I go do one. No be say I use that for visibility. This one is very insultive. Very dark myself, I no use them as visibility. Coincidentally, Ratters show love and forever will be grateful to him and his Ratter people. Never use this word, okay? It's insultive. If you want to talk this one, what you want to talk about now, you can say I use them for visibility. I know they do this topic too. What do you want to talk about, what do you call it, all those crime analysis? I use that for visibility too. Why you know use that for visibility? Who they hold your hand? Or tikpe, akpan. Why you never use it before visibility? Why they hide in any court? I follow what I believe is good for Nigeria. I do not worship any man. I am not a PO worshipper, and I will never be. I believe in his capacity to lead, to be number one. Not to be dummy for Aso Rock, not to become another Shetima in Aso Rock. Why something worse than Buhari is running the show? Go and read Obasanjo's book about Atin. Go and read. We did that time, during Obasanjo we did. This face still young, you know young like this, he don't tell we did. I know be Gen Z. We know what the Apple they do National Stadium. We know the content. We know what the Apple, the lootinary. We know the level. There are some people, if they want loot, they loot with care. There are some people like Abata, they loot, they fit tie you, they loot your house. There's difference. So me, I know they use settlement. Okay, let's continue. I said, do not try to emotionally blackmail or corner me. I take myself, okay? Just like as I want, you know. And see, when I started this channel, go and check. I know even they do OB video self with the support of BCs for comment section. Before I even do my first video for content, for comment section with the supporter scenes, now visibility. So you now where the supporter, now visibility you look for your comment section. No, but just that people like us who don't know how to hide. I suppose hide so that nobody will say you belong here, because this belong here. They make some people say I don't want to watch your video before.
Put this person
or run away from it. I have said it clearly many times. If Obi becomes VP to Atiku, then may God bless Tinubu with everlasting presidency. I don't know.
that many of is that we had, and how many of them have actually, initially we were seeing Osinbajo performing initially, then suddenly, boom, disappeared from the scene. Bobo just started doing everything, and we didn't hear from Osinbajo again. They just decapitated him and made him literally just go ahead on the VP seat. Nothing we could hear from Osinbajo. So what he's saying here is just fact.
I want to. This one here, it's not that I'm wishing Tinubu everlasting presidency, just to show you how we should run away from anything Atiku. This one will say e no good, go no say it's sweet past Atiku. This one where we do so and we complain everywhere hot, go no say the guess what they call bottomless pit. Hey, you hate Atiku? No, all put on there now. 80 years out of common body, no fit common body. And I say, if you choose to call me a secret Tinubu supporter, there is nothing wrong with that. In many of my videos, I even said I will openly support Tinubu if Atiku became the main opposition runner. We know the hide face, okay? And I said there is nothing wrong in supporting Tinubu to prevent another worse disaster than Buhari. So I can't come up again. I said, people, more talk this matter more. I can't tweet again. I said, if Atiku truly love Nigeria, its progress and its unity, he should support Peter Obi. Okay? It is still the South turn. And I said, after 4 years of Obi, Atiku can come back around. It is fair, it is moral, that is how nations grow. I said, look at Senegal. In Senegal, this man, Soko.
We have got to the point where literally anybody can build a fully working app without knowing how to code. This is Base 44.
Was the main leader, just like Atiku. He was arrested and put in prison. Okay? He knew that insisting on himself could hurt the country. Okay? So he sacrificed personal ambition. He asked his deputy, Bashir Jumaye Faye, the current president, to run instead. The literally no person, not popular, say run to save our country. The people united, they voted and they won. That is what love for country looks like. Nobody say I must be president. Like Tinubu said, I desired, it was my dream. In that day now, that's all. But there are some people, they desire to change the country, not to just bear the name president. They want to change things. Look at Cameroon, person like that. He just want to be lifetime president. But there are some people, give them 4 years, they won't change the direction of the country. Seriously. If you don't know about Obi, go and check what he do. Don't say they support him blindly. Go and check. Go and check. I'm not forcing anybody. Go and check. We talk from what we don't see. Everywhere, the guy scatter ground. It's like a dead thing. Anambra was like nothing. He revived him. Remember during Igige, before Igige said, all those who ban the regular they fight. He can revive everything. He come out saying no want pension, no want anything. No give me taxpayers money. I can feed. The only ex-governor when they collect anything. Till they donate. Say make a vote for person like that, maybe VP. Some they worry you. They can they sort them. I don't understand. I said that is sacrifice. That is leadership. Nigeria needs that same spirit now. Okay? After 4 years of Obi, Atiku can contest again. Nobody is blocking him forever. I said, but if Atiku puts greed and personal ambition first, I insist or running against this moral arrangement, then you should forget my support completely. Now just one vote make una no vex. No be say I be anything. I know. I just in me, just the way we say I go support, no support. Now this is the only way for me to express myself. I no be anything. Okay, more no vex. I continue. I said I would rather suffer for another 4 years, that's of Tinubu, than suffer 8 years in bottomless pit. That's what I talk about. There's always something worse. We warned during Jonathan's era that something worse could come. You all laughed. You said you prefer NEPA certificate. Today, many of you wish you were back in Jonathan's era. We are still suffering that mistake. Do not make that mistake again. And I said, even Osibanjo, with all his intelligence and leadership skills, became not the other Buhari. Okay? Power structure matters. Okay? Now, look at the record. Okay? Atiku has been running without ever supporting anyone. 2007, Iran lost. 2011, Iran. 2015, he tried again and lost at party level. 2019, Iran against Buhari are lost. 2023, Iran against Tinubu are lost. Okay? And I said, now is the first time people are asking him to support Obi. And suddenly, that is a problem. That's my drive. Before the primaries, make you know, say, no few use people who support Obi. Say, I know see Obi get supporters. More deceive and enter. Whoever that win primaries, we go support them. At the end of the day, they call dollarize the primaries. We gonna unite now. We gonna play with our man. If that one a problem, take it like that. Okay? I said, the South has not finished its turn. Anyone who says they believe in Obi's leadership yet wishes in DP, may God forgive them. You say you believe Obi, you want me to go sit down for Aso Rock? Like,
Obi becomes going to be killed. Not be able to do. Won't be able to. Yes, that presidency. Yes, for VP at VP with Peter Obi will literally just be a figure. Will just be there. Will just be in the system with lions and will be. So this, what Don Laza is saying is exactly my own stand on this. Rather than that he goes to presidency, he should not settle VP anybody. Not settle go for presidency. If they want to run their primaries, run against Atiku ADC, and he should become the president. Be the one, you know, because VP, we have seen from the history, we've seen that VPs can't do anything. They can't do anything. From Jonathan's time, when Jonathan was under Yar'Adua, Jonathan was literally not doing anything until he became president. Osibanjo, useless for 8 years. Like initially, we were seeing him the time where Buhari was sick. Was one of the times we saw Osibanjo. Suddenly, we didn't see Osibanjo again. We didn't see him again. Despite this guy is very qualified, a professor with all the intellect and knowledge, leadership skills, and all the qualities of a leader, we suddenly didn't see him again. This Shettima guy, since this guy became VP, nothing. Like we've not seen anything from Shettima. We've not heard him speak once. Since Shettima became VP, he's just there as a shadow figurehead and just his name. So what is the point of Peter Obi going for VP? We want a change in Nigeria. It doesn't make any sense. So if the VP role, Peter Obi should not settle, please.
Shettima and Osibanjo. You even know who be good luck VP that time? You know? It means you don't like this country. I was about to enter this class. So I don't know what to carry me enter Twitter. Now I see this one. Nah, Dele Momodu post am. They complain about this. See, Pat Utomi said, I will withdraw my support if Peter Obi accept to be vice presidential candidate. Pat Utomi, our dead supporter. We know what the support will be. We are not blind supporters, okay? We have a reason to change this country, to turn Nigeria to America. You can. That's where Buhari promised say go convert Naira. Will be $1. I don't know whether you want cry for comment section. Obi go do am. Yes, I go hype my man. Go do am. Pat also believe in Obi. Is tested and trusted. Person will not get greed. See me can go be VP because you just want me enter Aso Rock. What do they look for? What do you want? Major dey there. Okay, maybe president after 8 years of Atiku. How many vice presidents just say they allow me to be president? How many? See Osibanjo. No politicians. Sure, the effort that they get for their VP after they enter power. I don't even know say. Before they enter. Once they enter, check history now. They play. So, can I talk about it? Say people who don't want to join ADC. You say when they disobedient to. So watch out.
When you're moving into election, when you're moving into primaries, people say a whole lot of things. At times they say it as bargaining chip to know whether you can concede to them. These things are normal. I mean, I even heard when they were saying they will never enter ADC. And thank God they are all in ADC now.
No, we're talking about
So-
his supporters.
You know what I'm
Those who
saying?
voted him.
That is what
they
I'm
can't
saying.
enter ADC.
Hold on, I voted him. 2023. I'm in ADC. I believe in democracy. And I believe that democracy is the government of the people.
So you think all
So-
those other supporters
Yes.
will eventually follow your path?
Absolutely.
You know that there's a dynamic with Peter Obi
Yes.
where he has
Not follow my
people
path,
that
follow the path of democracy. Because if you decree that this person must be this, no matter what happens, you're not a Democrat. You are a
so that's
tyrant.
the dynamic that
So you're not
we're
one that
people
APC.
are aware of. The fact that Peter Obi is
Yeah.
they're called obedience. They don't belong to a political party.
Yeah.
Their political party is the man. So if you're banking on bringing them, they're not going to join the ADC. We saw that with the Labour Party. Many of them didn't join the Labour Party. They
Right.
just voted the man himself. Is that a dynamic that the ADC is ready to handle?
Well, you know, when I was in Labour Party, I said it was a tactical mistake. Telling your followers they can join all political parties. And I'm very glad that my brother Peter Obi, has changed the tactic. If you listen to his interview on X Space, he said all the obedience should go and register as members of ADC. So if you are an obedient and you're not in ADC, sorry, you're not an obedient.
See and so now what did they make me dey do this video? You go say this bonanza wey dey talk like this guy. No, I don't change my mind though. All those wey dey talk so I don't change my mind. Somebody made a big mistake. Make I show you. Now be Festus Keyamo. I don't see many people say because of Festus. When they talk, they don't replace the way they talk. Their position, they don't replace them. That's why they do this class. I don't know what they concern Festus Keyamo and Obi. All of a sudden, they call the pity for Obi and his supporter. Oh, why you go join NDC? He call they talk like me. I say this guy know this family. My papa, for instance, they do something I don't like. Person will always they fight us. If they run for what my papa they run for instance. He could say, my papa, you don't make mistake. Oh, why you do all like this? It means say the man made the right decision. He can't make me call a think again. I can't drop another tweet. So people say, hey, they don't gaslight. I say, no, they don't gaslight me. That's why they do this class. Make I show you. So you can see, more boring with tweet. So there is no hiding place for the opposition, just like there is no hiding place for the ruling party. Let the neck press continue without let up. The NDC is scared to clearly zone its presidential ticket like the other major parties, PDP and APC have done, because the party belongs to one man called Atiku Abubakar. Why they sound like me? Why they sound like me? You did ADC, you did Labour before. Calm down. He said it is the exact corner that Atiku pushed PDP to in 2023 that ADC now finds itself. The inability to zone its presidential ticket, zoning in a highly sensitive country like Nigeria. Any pan-Nigerian party must be clear as to zoning. Atiku wants to camouflage with Peter Obi and surreptitiously secure its vote. He won't use tie, color B or vote where he get for 2023 and become president on a flawed template, on a wrong foundation that will damage our fragile unity as a nation. You want make Atiku no be president, Abi? You prefer Obi, my opposition. When Festus Keyamo call they pity us, when Festus Keyamo call they support Obi like this, when he start to support Obi, why he call like Obi like this? You mean say if your wishes are pure, Obi can become president? There's no natural. For instance, what do you call happen to your own principal? So you know me back become president again. Now say this thing we need to look out with another eyes, my people. There's a problem here. Let's continue. And Peter Obi is supporting this contraction for selfish reasons, throwing the entire country. See, throwing the entire country under the bus for a mess of pottage called DP ticket. It means say these people they afraid of this calculation. They afraid of this the YDS where they won't do, because the way they cry, this one I fear now. You don't like to be like that now. I know. You don't talk down on his supporters. He will soon learn in the hard way. Commiseration to the nerve Obi supporters who have been led into a dead end by Willie old war horses in politics. Say they deceive supporters. Oh, they deceive you now. They deceive you now. They will all come back to thank us later after the disaster to which they are heading. Why you they concern about his supporters? I think say if they drag for something, because say your opponent they make mistake, go close mouth. This one was so bad, see so. Me say something they fear you. When I read this, I say now call carry the thing go treat to. I say study am, see what I talk. I say at FKM, you honestly shock me.
You have it listen, you type it in, and then you go digging.
Since Obi joined ADC, you have not rested at all. Because before this week, you don't treat others. They don't they up Obi matter for head like this. I say what happened? Hope your doctor is always with you. Suddenly, you are everywhere sounding emotional and worried. I said, I admit I reacted badly at first. just as you saw. Mine came from a family place, from a place of love, from my desire for this man to change this country for good. May Allah. From disappointment, from the fear that Obi's chance to move this country forward could be wasted because of Atiku's personal ambition. Now the reason be this one. I could say, but see you raise similar arguments made me stop to think, say, this guy cannot talk because he love Obi. Let's say, this calculation. Someone who never cared about Obi, never defended him, often mocked him and his supporter. All of a sudden, you now care. You now sound disappointed. Disappointed for what? Say Obi no go president again? I said, so now you want Obi to be president? What happens to your boss if Obi becomes president? If this is truly about Nigeria, talk about APC's achievement. Una don rule for how many years now? Now achievement, now suppose they do campaign, no be other things, no be blackmailing, sowing bad seed in obedient minds, just to say, they don't deceive your man. Tell us what your party has done. Explain why ADC cannot defeat you, okay? I said, but no, what we hear is sentiment. How Obi's choice will hurt him, how it will hurt his supporters, how zoning will be broken, not APC's record. You know they tell us about your record. Look at Alex Oti in Abia. He shows his work and says, this is what I have done. We meet on election day, okay? But you sound like an obedient now, like someone mourning Obi's dream, Obi's mistakes. I said, this is not love. What I see is anxiety. What I see is panic. What I see is people who did not expect a combined force. If the defection is making people like you comfortable, if you say supporters of your opponents not happy about your principle, you know, say the man make right decision. I will say that article, respecting her. Now, before I drop this class, I remember
What he's saying. Still don't feel like ever understand that stands between shake seats, shake the seat. Don't make it easy. You don't want good move. Lose that dream. Not have the power. Make a change. Even though he's supposed to have the power. What we are seeing, what we've seen at the PP literally just a fiction maker of the team. And we saw it play out in Bo- So to me, even if John is sad, this alliance should shake them. I still don't think vision of only to serve on sets there's a game plan there, takes him to that president, even though he's not on this town having that. Who has served as well. Maybe Obi will do for that's the dream. In the long game, yeah, and let me
but I need to also say, somebody I must also say, he tried for me. I never call him before. You don't know me. I've not seen him before. Where they share my videos. Up to date, not you are the gaslight. Stop that gaslighting. But try it next time. What do you think? Drop in the comments. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to this net. Thank you.
so another I said no said my
What if you can create
not lose that I think scam sad and shook means that so with the means that so tell me what you think about it. We're going to agree. One is story of the moment. Fact that one is real. Looking like so. For those people who don't know what those who don't know what I'm literally politics dentist seized, they went into Venezuela, went and they killed Venezuela out. Imagine being the military man against shows how strong US is compared to country. US literally ranks number militaries whole world. They are number one for a reason. I think number two goes to Russia. You guys are literally no jokes. No jokes. Military. This just goes to this thing. And those who don't know the summary to Venezuela's president how we got it. But a lot of layers and layers of to the United States is made. I know that Venezuela is a real of the oil reserve. Was the decision making of influenced some social and global conflict. Like this global conflict. United States sees take the president out. Imagine it sounds like something from a movie, literally where Donald Trump sent his troops, his forces. They penetrated Venezuela. They took the presidency between 12 a.m. like 2 a.m. midnight like this. They penetrated Venezuela, passed through their so-called White House, own also Aso Rock, I believe, then out. Took him. Presidents, they took their Nicolas Maduro, they took him out of Venezuela, they took the United States in New York today, about to come out to address why he did. But Donald Trump had sanctioned United Venezuela, had made sure that they didn't have, and they put some limiting laws of Nicolas who has not been cooperating with you. Another thing again that was Nicolas Maduro. What happened was that presidents, he was the vice president, Nicolas was the vice. That 13 or 2019, Nicolas was the vice. When he was the vice president, the president died. When the president died, they were supposed to do an election This guy made it. They did the election. They rushed the election for not allowing the opposition to be with the info. They did the opposing party, Nicola, narrow margin, came. The US were like not happy. Felt like the election was dead already. They've accused him for many other things, being like giving an authoritarian rule. That's why Donald Trump had to just show who's really not above the law. Seized the president of the seat. Right now, Donald Trump has even made a speech where he said that US right now is the one in charge of, was in control, pending when the new election will be done. Venezuela will go back to will go back to their own independence control. Let's watch this.
This is CNN Breaking News.
Welcome to CNN. I'm Victor Blackwell in Atlanta. The breaking news this morning, President Trump says the U.S. carried out large-scale strikes on Venezuela overnight. He says its president, Nicolas Maduro, and his wife, Celia Flores, have been captured and flown out of the country. Attorney General Pam Bondi says both of them have been indicted and in a social media post says that they will, quote, soon face the full wrath of American justice. The Venezuelan vice president says that she has no idea where Maduro and the First Lady are.
Faced with this brutal situation and this brutal attack, we do not know the whereabouts of President Nicolas Maduro and First Lady Celia Flores. We demand immediate proof of life from the government of President Donald Trump, proof of life for President Maduro and the First Lady.
President Trump says that he'll address the nation on the strikes from Mar-a-Lago later this morning. Right now, it's quiet in the capital of Caracas just hours after the strikes, but earlier explosions rocked Venezuela, knocked out power, and sent people running outside.
ChatGPT can now create website wireframes. With our new custom GPT, we guide you through.
And this strike was at La Carlota Air Base in Caracas. CNN's Nick Payton-Walsh joins me now from London. Nick, we just heard from Issa Suarez speaking with some of her sources in country about the fear of what could come next because so many questions are unanswered.
Yeah, I mean, let's go through what we know has happened so far. Since about 1 a.m. local time, and these series of explosions rocked Caracas and other parts of Venezuela. Multiple helicopters seen in the air, and then clearly a U.S. Special Forces operation that removed Nicolas Maduro and his wife from what should have been their heavily fortified and secured premises in the capital there. Hard to understate quite what a move this is geopolitically by the Trump White House to remove the sitting president of a country which it considers to be a regional irritant. Startling, successful, certainly, daring, certainly as well, and also efficient, frankly, given what it seems the brevity, comparatively, of this operation and the impact that it is having. The Attorney General, Pam Bondi, hinting that the indictments in the Southern District of New York court will be the ones that Maduro faced. He had a $50 million bounty on his head, seeking information that could lead towards his capture, and it may well
$1 million. That was what it was literally declared wanted by the government. Like an effective action of going there by themselves and literally uprooting this guy, what's supposed to be very protected. Literally took down the military team to the president. This is like this move is so I don't know how to call it. It's such a powerful move from Trump. Daring, and it's something that I don't think people we see this in like movies. We see this ancient movies where people literally go and low key they go and do like the Trojan horse type. This is like it's real time happening.
Be that the delay we're seeing since Trump's tweet in the early hours of this morning, his 74-word social media post that removed the extraordinary mystery, frankly, or the unresponsibility of exactly what was happening in the skies of Caracas, very quickly to explain that, as many suspected, it was the US military behind this. It now appears that potentially the delay may be about transferring Maduro inside American soil for when President Trump addresses the nation about this move, extraordinary as it is. But I think once perhaps for Trump allies, the exhilaration of removing Maduro, who has been an authoritarian dictator behind violence against protesters and opponents for 13 years. Once that fades, the hard questions now must be answered about what to do with Venezuela's crippled economy. That has been the reason why Maduro has needed to be authoritarian, the mismanagement of basic things like inflation foodstuffs that permeates that entire country. What happens now to Venezuela's military, heavily hit during this brief series of strikes? Should point out the explosions we've been seeing in these videos, utterly alien to life in sleepy, peaceful Caracas, will have terrified the millions who live there. What is the likely course for Venezuela's political elite? Is indeed Delcy Rodriguez the successor? Does she immediately seek a détente with the United States to prevent a similar abduction in the middle of the night occurring to her? These are all urgent questions, and I think the key thing here is for the United States to have planned for the aftermath of Maduro with the same efficiency, detail and resolve as they clearly planned his capture and abduction. The US military, very good at this sort of thing, be it bin Laden in Pakistan, Zawahiri, the Al-Qaeda leader in Afghanistan, Maduro, a man with lesser charges against him in Venezuela, but they fail repeatedly in what comes next. And I'm sure many in Venezuela will be deeply hoping that they now see some sort of future ahead of them where their economic and political problems become part of the United States focus and they're not just left to see further collapse. A reminder, the United States, particularly the Trump administration, want to see many of the hundreds of thousands of Venezuelans on US soil go home. And perhaps a calm and prosperous Venezuela would permit that to happen at a faster pace. But we
Okay, so this begs to ask, what's a major object from and that social quality of life is totally at the bottom of it. Nation rate, life is really mess that Euro costs you, either for either you're passing conflict, acting at all these other things, media has. That's why you needed to be Trump has the objectives higher than the question, both of them more improved. Settle. So see, again,
We are today in unprecedented territory in Moscow and Beijing. They will be looking at how their ally, Maduro, is suddenly whisked away from a place where he should have felt security of diplomacy, of the international world order. He may now soon be in a New York courthouse to face drug charges.
Now, Russia, as I said a moment ago, is now asking for immediate clarification on the U.S. claims that it has captured Maduro.
They'll probably get that.
Yeah. Nick Payton-Walsh, thanks so much. Joining us now is CNN senior White House reporter Kevin Liptak. Kevin, again, we're going to hear from the president at 11 a.m. Eastern, 3 hours from now. But I understand you have some new information about how this unfolded. What do you know?
Yeah, and what we understand is that the president gave the green light for this operation several days ago. That's according to people familiar with the matter. It was carried out by the elite Delta Force in the U.S. Army. That's the same group that captured Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi some years ago. So a highly trained a force that went in to capture Maduro. They were tracking his location with the assistance of the CIA. And we know that the president had authorized the CIA to operate covertly inside of Venezuela, some weeks ago. We saw some of what they were doing just this week when we learned about that strike on a dock facility that the president said was transporting drugs. But now we're getting a fuller picture of what precisely that agency was doing there. Now, the goal here is to try Maduro on U.S. soil. We've been hearing that from officials. We just heard it explicitly from the Attorney General, Pam Bondi, who is citing that indictment in the Southern District of New York that was filed back in 2020. There was this bounty on Maduro, and what Bondi says is that both Maduro and his wife will soon face the full wrath of American justice on American soil in American courts. But to be sure, there are plenty of questions here being raised by members of Congress. It does not appear as if the Trump administration briefed, the relevant lawmakers or the relevant committees before taking that action. And this morning, it appears that the Secretary of State, Marco Rubio, has been on the phone talking to senators to discuss some of what happened, and some of them are revealing a little bit about their discussion. Mike Lee, the senator from Utah, said that the strikes that occurred in Venezuela were intended to protect the U.S. personnel who were capturing Maduro, that the president was relying on his Article 2 authority, essentially his authority as commander-in-chief to conduct foreign policy, to carry out these strikes. And I think most critically, what Rubio told Lee was that he anticipates no further action in Venezuela now that Maduro is in U.S. custody. So this appears to be it for now, what we've seen overnight. This is really the culmination of this months-long pressure campaign. There was, I think, some misgivings on the part of the president some months ago about where all of this was leading. We heard that from officials, that he had some reservations that this could potentially all backfire if Maduro was ousted from power, some questions about whether this would be effective, but clearly he has put those to the side and given the green light to go ahead. I think President Trump is also of the era who will remember a mixed history of U.S. interventions in Latin America, including with the CIA. Today is 35 years exactly since the U.S. arrested the Panamanian dictator Manuel Noriega at the Vatican Embassy in Panama. So, there is a long, somewhat mixed history for the president to look back on here, but clearly eager to proclaim success in this particular mission, and I think eager to show that justice will be served for what they claim is a drug trafficking charge. The objectives in all of this have always, in a way, led to regime change. That was what the president's ultimate goal was here. We heard that explicitly from Susie Wiles in that Vanity Fair interview. But you also saw a number of different sort of rationales that the president has laid out, whether it was curbing the flow of drugs, whether it was curbing the flow of migrants. You also hear the president talk quite a bit about the oil. Of course, Venezuela.
He's saying, thing is your goal for the make sure that Marcos, that's my soil. If they didn't do it like this without force, one time that goal won't have been. But then again, they were risking backfire. Now that to those who don't know how the situation of the will be when the state given the really a very the guy also history series leaders from one each about the oil now.
Migrants, you also hear the president talk quite a bit about the oil. Of course, Venezuela is sitting on the world's largest proven oil reserves. And so I think when we hear from the president over at Mar-a-Lago down here in Palm Beach at 11 a.m., it's likely that we're going to hear sort of a combination of all of that. And certainly, I think the question of what happens next in Venezuela, what the president has been planning on that front, whether the U.S. sort of has any role or anticipates any role in stabilizing that country now that the leader has left, those will be critical questions that the president, I think, will need to answer for when we see him in a few hours from now.
And Democrats in the Senate are already asking those questions, as we're seeing on social media. Kevin Liptak, thanks so much.
Stop buying courses and click the link.
And we appreciate you being here. Late last night and early today, at my direction, the United States Armed Forces conducted an extraordinary military operation in the capital of Venezuela. Overwhelming American military power, air, land, and sea, was used to launch a spectacular assault. And it was an assault like people have not seen since World War II. It was a force against a heavily fortified military fortress.
So, nation, the nation, capture, beat few. It was a very ballsy move. If he had back, especially the operation, they have raised a very large red flag of from the reports I get. Just like this was a ballsy move. Let's continue.
In the heart of Caracas, to bring outlaw dictator Nicolas Maduro to justice. This was one of the most stunning, effective, and powerful displays of American military might and competence in American history. And if you think about it, we've done some other good ones, like the attack on Soleimani, the attack on al-Baghdadi, and the obliteration and decimation of the Iran nuclear sites just recently in an operation known as Midnight Hammer, all perfectly executed and done. No nation in the world could achieve what America achieved yesterday, or frankly, in just a short period of time. All Venezuelan military capacities were rendered powerless as the men and women of our military, working with U.S. law enforcement, successfully captured Maduro in the dead of night. It was dark. The lights of Caracas were largely turned off due to a certain expertise that we have. It was dark and it was deadly.
due to just shows the level of advancement from their roles of other people technology so without having with them. We don't even know the means to which they did it, but they did it. That's what I'm like from the last video we watched on CIA had already been already making some. So this technology, this thing, the CIA strong on it in a very I don't even want to. If Venezuelan president is easy, it wasn't easy, successful to carry out the Venezuelan. You could imagine how easy it is if they want to do. Imagine. After this, I'll check the ranking, measure between the military strength of the military in Venezuela, measure the rank. Because US is not. Let's listen.
But captured along with his wife, Celia Flores, both of whom now face American justice. Maduro and Flores have been indicted in the Southern District of New York. It's Jay Clayton for their campaign of deadly narco-terrorism against the United States and its citizens. I want to thank the men and women of our military who achieved such an extraordinary success overnight with breathtaking speed, power, precision, and competence. You rarely see anything like it. You've seen some raids in this country that didn't go so well. They were an embarrassment. If you look back to Afghanistan or if you look back to the Jimmy Carter days, they were different days. We're a respected country again, like never before. These highly trained warriors operating in collaboration with U.S. law enforcement caught them in a very ready position. They were waiting for us. They knew we had many ships out in the sea. We were just sort of waiting. They knew we were coming. So they were in what's called a ready position. But they were completely overwhelmed and very quickly incapacitated.
So what they said, waiting for the Venezuelan military was literally waiting. They knew they had heard the information that the United States gets at new and they couldn't hold arsenal of the couldn't hold them, which is crazy, really crazy. Let's go.
If you would have seen what I saw last night, you would have been very impressed. I'm not sure that you'll ever get to see it, but it was an incredible thing to see. Not a single American service member was killed, and not a single piece of American equipment was lost. We had many helicopters, many planes, many people involved in that fight.
America didn't record one casualty. Trump is saying it. Of this kind that the enemy territory even record one. This is crazy. So I think there's I really don't know what it. I really apologize.
We had many helicopters, many planes, many people involved in that fight. But think of that, not one piece of military equipment was lost. One service member was, more importantly, killed. The United States military is the strongest and most fearsome military on the planet by far. With capabilities and skills our enemies can scarcely begin to imagine. We have the best equipment anywhere in the world. There's no equipment what we have. And you see that even if you just look at the boats. You know, we've knocked out 97% of the drugs coming in by sea. 90%. Each boat kills 25, on average, 25,000 people. We knocked out 97%. And those drugs mostly come from a place called Venezuela. We're going to run the country until such time as we can do a safe.
And you mentioned trafficking of drugs. How the going to the U.S. being the major dealer of this using boats to order each boat affects alive indirectly 5,000 that even 7%. Remember what they are saying. President has been doing so much that the capital US have had enough. Simply had enough.
Proper and judicious trend with having somebody else get in, and we have the same situation that we had for the last long period of years. So we are going to run the country until such time as we can do a safe, proper, and judicious transition. And it has to be judicious because that's what we're all about. We want peace, liberty, and justice for the great people of Venezuela, and that includes many from Venezuela that are now living in the United States and want to go back to their country. It's their homeland. We can't take a chance that somebody else takes over Venezuela. We can't take a chance that somebody else takes over Venezuela that doesn't have the good of the Venezuelan people in mind. We've had decades of that. We're not going to let that happen. We're not going to let that happen. We're there now, and what people happen. We're there now, and what people don't understand, but they understand as don't understand, but they understand as I say this. We're there now, but we're going to stay until such time as the proper transition can take place. So we're going to stay until such time as we're going to run it, essentially, until such time as a proper transition can take place.
I don't know how you call it. Hearing move. I don't want to use the word. It's just a power play. Word. It's just a power play. So power.
As everyone knows, the oil business in Venezuela has been a bust, a total bust, for a long period of time. They were pumping almost nothing by comparison to what they could have been pumping and what could have taken place. We're going to have our very large United States oil companies, the biggest anywhere in the world, go in, spend billions of dollars, fix the badly broken infrastructure, the oil infrastructure, and start making money for the country. And we are ready to stage a second and much larger attack if we need to do so. So we were prepared to do a second wave if we needed to do so. We actually assumed that a second wave would be necessary, but now it's probably not. The first wave, if you'd like to call it that, the first attack was so successful, we probably don't have to do a second, but we're prepared to do a second wave, a much bigger wave, actually. This was pinpoint, but we have a much bigger wave that probably won't have to do. This partnership of Venezuela with the United States of America, a country that everybody wants to be involved with because of what we were able to do and accomplish, will make the people of Venezuela rich, independent, and safe. And it will also make the many, many people from Venezuela that are living in the United States extremely happy. They suffered. They suffered. So much was taken from them. They're not going to suffer anymore. The illegitimate
after
dictator Maduro was the kingpin of a vast criminal network responsible for trafficking colossal amounts of deadly and illicit drugs into the United States. As alleged in the indictment, he personally oversaw the vicious cartel known as Cartel de las Solis, which flooded our nation with lethal poison, responsible for the deaths of countless Americans, many, many Americans. Hundreds of thousands over the years of Americans died because of him. Maduro and his wife will soon face the full might of American justice and stand trial on American soil. Right now, they're on a ship. They'll be heading to, ultimately, New York, and then a decision will be made, I assume, between New York and Miami or Florida. But we have people where the overwhelming evidence of their crimes will be presented in a court of law. And I've seen it. I've seen what we have. It's both horrible and breathtaking that something like this could have been allowed to take place. For many years after his term as president of Venezuela expired, Maduro remained in power and waged a ceaseless campaign of violence, terror, and subversion against the United States of America, threatening not only our people, but the stability of the entire region. And you also had, in addition to trafficking gigantic amounts of illegal drugs, that
ads by
Got a $1 billion web app idea? Now you can turn it into reality with Hostinger Horizons.
inflicted untold suffering and human destruction all over the country, all over, in particular, the United States. Maduro sent savage and murderous gangs, including the bloodthirsty prison gang, Tren de Aragua, to terrorize American communities nationwide, and he did indeed. They were in Colorado. They took over apartment complexes. They cut the fingers off people if they called police. They were brutal, but they're not so brutal now. And I just have to congratulate.
He's stronger. I think Trump already had more like billions of citizens. Terrible.
Congratulate our military, Pete, and everybody, and our National Guard, because the job that they've done, whether it's in Washington, D.C., where we have a totally safe city, where it was one of the most unsafe cities anywhere in the world, frankly, and now we have no crime in Washington, D.C. We haven't had a killing. We had the terrorist attack a few weeks ago, a little bit of a different kind of a threat, but we haven't had a killing in a long period of time, 6-7 months. We used to have two, on average, 2 a week in Washington, our capital. We don't have that anymore. The restaurants are opening. Everyone's happy. They're walking their daughters. They're walking their children, their wives. They walk to restaurants. Restaurants are opening all over Washington, D.C. So I want to thank the National Guard. I want to thank our military. And I want to thank law enforcement. It's been amazing. And they should do it with more cities. We're doing it in Memphis, Tennessee right now. And crime is down. We've just sort of started a few weeks ago, but crime is down now 77%. And the governor of Louisiana called, great person, and he wanted us to help him, as you know, in a certain very nice part of Louisiana, and we have done that. It was a rough section, and we have crime down. I understand it's down to almost nothing already after 2.5 weeks. New Orleans, it's down to almost nothing, and we've only been there for 2.5 weeks. Can't imagine why governors wouldn't want us to help. We also helped, as you know, in Chicago, and crime went down a little bit there. We did a very small help because we had no working ability with the governor. The governor was a disaster and the mayor was a disaster, but it knocked down crime. But we're pulling out of there when they need us. We'll know. You'll know. You'll be writing about it. And likewise, Los Angeles, where we saved Los Angeles early on, where the head of the police department made a statement that if the federal government didn't come in, we would have lost Los Angeles. That's long after the fires. That's when they had the riots in Los Angeles. We did a great job. Got no credit for it whatsoever, but that's okay. It doesn't matter. We don't need the credit. But we'll be pulling out when they need us, or we'll go back if we have to. We'll go back. But we did a great job in various cities. But the place that we're very proud of is Washington, D.C., because it's our nation's capital. We took it from being a crime-ridden mess to being one of the safest cities in the country. But the gangs that they sent raped, tortured, and murdered American women and children. They were in all of the cities I mentioned, Tren de Aragua. And they were sent by Maduro to terrorize our people. And now Maduro will never again be able to threaten an American citizen or anybody from Venezuela. There will no longer be threats. For years,
One thing about Trump is that he can't swallow emphasis because things are open. So, in as much president, don't you? It stains his statement sometimes needs to take what you hear, take everything, still sure that things that he said here is towards the. Let's go.
highlighted the stories of those innocent Americans whose lives were so heartlessly robbed by this Venezuelan terrorist organization. Really one of the worst. One of the worst. They say the worst. Americans like 12-year-old Jocelyn Nungary from Houston. Beautiful Jocelyn Nungary. What happened to her? They, as you know, they kidnapped, assaulted, and murdered by Tren de Aragua animals. They murdered Jocelyn and left her dead under the bridge. It was a bridge that will never be the same to so many people after seeing what happened. As I've said many times, the Maduro regime emptied out their prisons, sent their worst and most violent monsters into the United States, and they came from mental institutions and insane asylums. They came from prisons and jails. The reason I say both, they sound similar. Actually, prisons a little bit more hostile, a little bit tougher. A mental institution, insane asylum, but we got them both. They sent from their mental institutions. They sent from their jail prisons. They were drug dealers. They were drug kingpins. They sent everybody bad into the United States, but no longer. And we have now a border where nobody gets through. In addition, Venezuela unilaterally seized and sold American oil, American assets, and American platforms, costing us billions and billions of dollars. They did this a while ago, but we never had a president that did anything about it. They took all of our property. It was our property. We built it. And we never had a president that decided to do anything about it. Instead, they fought wars that were 10,000 miles away. We built Venezuela oil industry with American talent, drive, and skill, and the socialist regime stole from us during those previous administrations. And this constituted one of the largest thefts of American property in the history of our country. Considered the largest theft of property in the history of our country. Massive oil infrastructure was taken like we were babies, and we didn't do anything about it. I would have done something about it. America will never allow foreign powers to rob our people or drive us back into and out of our own hemisphere. That's what they did. Furthermore, under the now deposed dictator Maduro, Venezuela was increasingly hosting foreign adversaries in our region and acquiring menacing offensive weapons that could threaten U.S. interests and lives. And they used those weapons last night. Potentially in league with the cartels operating along our border. All of these actions were in gross violation of the core principles of American foreign policy, dating back more than 2 centuries. And not anymore. The Monroe Doctrines. And the Monroe Doctrine is a big deal. But we've superseded it by a lot. They now call it the Donroe Document. I don't know. It's Monroe Doctrine. We sort of.
I haven't done my research enough. Facility, oil fast. Who builds the oil fast? It's hard. Of hard. Donald Trump is talking about kind of like buildings and the to produce oil and this facility, this property. So we didn't know. We don't. I don't know the element of how things are. The fact that Venezuela facilities were built in Venezuela. Sure, Venezuela is supposed to have say or some sense of ownership. I don't know the whole story. The way Trump is painting the no, I don't really buy it fully. The way he said that Venezuela took facilities and these all being owned by the US government. But this is on Venezuela soil, owned by the US government. From them, wouldn't do anything. Continue listening to this. Donald Trump said.
Forgot about it. It was very important, but we forgot about it. We don't forget our new national security strategy. American dominance in the Western Hemisphere will never be questioned again. Won't happen. So just in concluding, for decades, other administrations have neglected or even contributed to these growing security threats in the Western Hemisphere. Under the Trump administration, we are reasserting American power in a very powerful way in our home region. And our home region is very different than it was just a short while ago. The future will be, and we did this in my first term. We had great dominance in my first term, and we have far greater dominance right now. Everyone's coming back to us. The future will be determined by the ability to protect commerce and territory and resources that are core to national security. These are core to our national security. Just like tariffs are, they made our country rich, and they've made our national security strong, stronger than ever before. But these are the iron laws that have always determined global power. And we're going to keep it that way. We will secure our borders. We will stop the terrorists. We will crash the cartels, and we will defend our citizens against all threats, foreign and domestic. Other presidents may have lacked the courage or whatever to defend America, but I will never allow terrorists and criminals to operate with impunity against the United States. This extremely successful operation should serve as warning to anyone who would threaten American sovereignty or endanger American lives. Very importantly, the embargo on all Venezuelan oil remains in full effect. The American Armada remains poised in position, and the United States retains all military options until United States demands have been fully met and fully satisfied. All political and military figures in Venezuela should understand what happened to Maduro can happen to them, and it will happen to them if they aren't just fair, even to their dictator and terrorist. Maduro is finally gone in Venezuela. People are free. They're free again. It's been a long time for them, but they're free. America is a safer nation. This morning, it's a prouder nation this morning because it didn't allow this horrible person and this country that was doing very bad things to us. It didn't allow it to happen. And the Western Hemisphere is right now a much safer place to be. So I want to thank everybody for being here. I want to thank General Raisin Kane. He's fantastic. Man, I've worked with a lot of generals. I worked with some I didn't like. I worked with some I didn't respect. I worked with some that just weren't good. But this guy is fantastic. I watched last night one of the most precise attacks on sovereignty. I mean, it was an attack for justice. And I'm very proud of him, and I'm very proud of our Secretary of War, Pete Hegseth, who I'm going to ask to say a few words. Thank you very much.
Yeah, that was Donald Trump.
Build a website you love.
Why Venezuela? So, first of all, said already done some of or starting it. What was validity Trump's statements Venezuela taking